But to his point, like you said, to
Faith.
Sneako, which is how it started this, you said, which I 100% agreed with. If God is real, it would be the most important question to deal with. Could I have a water too?
Yeah, I got you.
Oh man, thank you. So I think you're right, and I think the Christian community was like, yeah, Adam's onto something with regards to that. I think if we're talking about the net positive, I think it's fair to say that if people lived the way Jesus prescribes in the New Testament, it would be a massive net positive to society across the board. The majority of our social issues would be solved. The majority of fatherlessness would be solved. The majority of STDs and STIs would be solved if people lived in the prescription of the New Testament and the book of Proverbs and all these different things. And so I think, am I tracking along? Is that kind of what you're getting at in terms of like, this is a good because when I examine the words of Jesus, it's actually good?
I mean, if just like an overall sense that you shouldn't do bad things because then when you die, something very, very bad is going to happen to you. If everybody was just sort of like living life by that notion, which that in itself is like just this one tiny part of what I think it is to be a Christian, then yeah, of course that would be a good thing. And so I'm just not likely to like really engage people on that because I don't really think that there's that much benefit to gain from questioning a bunch of people's religious beliefs. In particular, when, I'm in this group chat with Lush and AD and T-Relics, a large percentage of them will claim that they're Christians. It never comes up. We never talk about it. So it's like...
we talk about it now, though.
Yeah, but it doesn't really come up. So it's like I would have to kind of really go out of my way to be arguing with AD about religion because as much as he says he's religious, it just doesn't really come up.
And like the thing is, like it's difficult for me to speak intelligently about something that I feel on an emotional level and believe like intrinsically, and there's no real. It defies all logic and reason that I had previous. But I also, in my heart of hearts, know that I'm not here due to just happenstance, and there's no reason I should be here, and there's obviously greater forces at work, or else I wouldn't be. And that's what I feel intrinsically. Now, there's probably a million arguments of why that's illogical, of why that, makes me not intelligent or this or that, but I still believe it with every fiber of my being.
My whole thing is that like...
Not that I claim to know anything, though. You feel me?
The last 6 years of my life have been a pretty improbable success story, and I just feel absolutely no desire to ascribe that to any sort of like supernatural thing. I feel like it was, a lot of hard work, good luck, but ultimately, like even that, I don't believe in free will. I don't believe that I can like take credit for even the greatest things that I've accomplished, really. I'm like very lucky that I guess I was born the kind of person who would be able to do some of those things. But the idea that I would like be giving credit to this God who has never revealed himself to any way. I mean, it's just like a real stretch for me to like be expected to have that kind of assumption about.
Have you ever asked God or Jesus to reveal himself to you? Like, hey, God, if you're real, please reveal yourself to me.
I mean, maybe when I was like much younger, to be honest with you, like I always just kind of like assumed I was religious my whole life up until I was like 12 or 13. And then I met a kid and he handed me the Satanic Bible and he said, God is not real. And I read that shit and ultimately don't agree with all that much in it. But, the ultimate thing of like the idea that like, oh, there are other people out here who just believe that there is no God, that was really important to me, and then that set me off on a journey of just like reading every other atheist text I could find, and that just sort of ultimately like cemented me further and further into it.
All right, I think I would encourage you to re-examine the resurrection and be open to it. I mean, if you're really open, we talk about being open-minded. I would say, hey, what do you have to lose to say, hey, Jesus, if you're real, reveal yourself to me and look at.
But what would that look like? Like, how would that happen? Because I feel like I am the kind of person where if anything seemingly supernatural were to happen, I mean, I definitely consider myself open-minded in that sense. But I mean, where is it? It's just
you should
not
flip
really.
a coin 5 times in a row, and if 5 times in a row it lands on heads, you should ask God to guide every single flip.
I think what you're describing earlier is Aquinas, St. Thomas Aquinas would call it natural law or common grace, meaning that like God's created a universe where someone like Adam 22 could see a need in the marketplace, create product and value, and build this incredible empire you have as no jumper, right? That's building on something that I think whether it's Destiny adding a value, which by the way, I love your takes on politics. You know, I think he's brilliant. Like that's outside of their God needing to miraculously give you material blessings. Like if you put in work and you solve problems and you provide a value to people like you do, you're going to reap rewards with building a massive successful YouTube channel. That's different than having an encounter in a relationship with Jesus and saying, I'm going to place my faith, a confidence spectrum in Jesus.
Yo, we just hit 400,000 subscribers right here on the Clips channel. So if you want to help us out, click subscribe, get us to 500K. Yeah.